Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am going to read Chapter 4, The Gift. I cannot sleep tonight, like many nights. I think I have anxiety for tomorrow. My room is at the top level of our tree home, which means it has the tunnel to the upper escape route. In case of an invasion, each home has two escape routes. One is in the ground, often through the tree's roots. The other is a tunnel with a ladder made of deep grooves carved into one side, which leads you to the tree's thick branches above. Once there, you follow a hidden path of connected branches and narrow bridges to an exit on the outskirts of the city. Tonight, I have secretly escaped my room to those very same branches. I have found a little area to call my own to gaze up at the open night sky. It is beautiful. The stars are so big out here, away from the city lights I once knew. Every time I look up at these twinkling dots, I find myself reliving all that had happened the night I left Earth. I keep trying to spot something, anything other than the stars and their one moon. Like ours, it's a pearly white ball with a blue tint. However, the darkening tones and the spots on its face are different. I think it might even be smaller than Earth's, although that could just be my imagination. I never cared to look at Earth's moon much. I regret not looking at the sight of Earth more when I had the chance. Though the planets are different, many things about them stay the same. Things like gold, silver, and diamonds do exist here. Well, at least that's what the objects appear to be. I'm no scientist to prove the theory that the yellow metal is gold or something else entirely. Though I'm discovering new things that I've never seen on a daily basis, many other things about the world are exactly what they are on Earth. Water tastes like water, and air keeps me alive when I breathe it in. My alien body is surviving this planet's natural environment, the same way as if it were Earth itself. Sadly, I'm reminded every day that my body is frail compared to the other children my age. My body isn't conditioned to the ways of the elves. It does make me wonder if it's just that, or if it has to do with the physiology of my race. It's so strange to think of myself as an alien. I'm an alien looking out at the stars. During my days, I find myself smiling more. It hasn't been a walk in the park to understand how the elves live at times, but it's getting easier all the time. What is hardest to understand is why so many choose to take on boring professions like woodcarvers and weavers. I realize that without them, the society is uneven. I simply cannot help but get excited every time I see a sword or a battle axe on someone's back. I don't understand how any man would want to be anything other than a warrior or a wizard, and eating plants harvested from an old battlefield doesn't help change that opinion either. When I dream, I often become a soldier on the front lines of some battle that happened years ago. My dreams show me that the elves here were at war with a race of stocky figures dressed in heavy metal armor. Dwarves, yes, dwarves, are my homeland's new enemy. They're ruthless, too, just like in mythology. The one detail that isn't what I imagined is that they are technically advanced. They have barbaric machines that release steam with almost every movement. Among them, there are gigantic tank-like vehicles with massive swinging hammers and axes. They're not the only enemies either. In one dream, I have witnessed another race of elves fighting us. We call them sky elves, and I think they might be of the same race as the red-headed girl I met. They have pale white skin and high pointed ears, and their hair usually comes in shades of blonde and light brown colors. They seem to prefer swords and bows, although I have seen them use magic, too. Most nights, when I dream, the wars are over a dividing line between the races. These dreams tell me a lot about this world through the eyes of battle-worn heroes, yet don't give me any clues to the answers I seek. All the many questions nobody is willing to answer. Why am I here? Why is my body so young again? I'm tired of asking these questions and getting the same response. That is a question meant only for the priestess to answer. That's not enough for me. If that's the case, why haven't I had a chance to talk to her? Still, I keep my frustration to myself. I don't want to seem ungrateful for everything these people have done for me. In the morning, I start chore duties with my sisters, and I am happy because I want to show the family my gratitude. They sent me to bed early tonight, saying that I'd need my rest, but here I am, not sleeping. I'm happy during the day, but when night comes, I lay crippled with guilt. I never would have thought I'd miss Earth. Most of the time, I still don't. But there are some nights when I'd love to go back for a day, just have a thick, greasy cheeseburger and a Coke. I miss my friends, the online game, music, and my father. There isn't much I don't miss when nighttime comes around. While I look out at the endless stars, I wonder where Earth might be. I get up off the tree branch and make my way back down into the creepy tunnel into my room. I just read that sentence wrong, but you get the point. I crawl into my comfortable stack of soft pelts and close my eyes. The pelts smell like I'm burying my nose in the fur of a clean dog. I cannot wait for the morning to come so I can take this feeling away again. When daylight saves me the next morning, I am up and ready to begin my day of chores well before the others. I am as excited as the first day of a new school year. Today is the first day I can feel like a part of the community rather than a spoiled oddity of it. I stand in the den, waiting for my family to get ready. This room is the most cluttered of the entire tree home. At this point, the family has added a small painting of my sisters and me sitting together. A neighbor left it at our door about a week ago. When the time comes, we exit the home to get breakfast as a family unit with the rest of the community. Every morning, the cooks serve the rest of the city a bowl of warm, grainy slop that I'll compare to oatmeal. The only difference each morning is the fruit in it. This morning, it's some kind of black-colored berry that tastes like strawberries. The leafy shadows that are casting over us begin to shake arduously, so I peer up and spot a geehoe swinging around on the tree's branches above. A geehoe is a green-scaled creature that reminds me of a monkey. They have large hands and feet with long talons, but aren't vicious to us. However, they do like to laugh at you whenever you trip and fall down. When we finish our servings, Akram kisses her children's foreheads, and I am no exception. She tries so hard to make me feel like part of the family. Weiston is always a quiet eater, especially in the morning, so I'm surprised to hear him as my sisters and I get off our logs to depart. Have a good day, children. Teach and eat well. Yes, Papa, we will, my quiet sister Sierra responds. Bye, Mama. Bye, Papa, my not-so-quiet sister Castanea yells while waving her hands wildly at them. Bye, girls. Bye, son, says Akram. Hearing her say that makes me feel like part of this family. We're about a mile from the busier parts of the city, halfway through the wooded trail to the stables, when I realize that I've never asked these two young girls any of the questions I've asked the adults. Though I've come to realize that they're ingenious kids, they may not know any better than to give me a straightforward answer. I watch the current of the river pass by us, about 20 feet off to our right, and try to think of something I don't already know to use as an icebreaker. What do you people call this place? I'm surprised that detail has eluded my dreams and daily life. The planet is called Pangea, and the city is called Andaria. It's the biggest wood elf city, Sierra answers in a soft, polite voice. There are other cities? All wood elves prefer to live in small communities, But the Vane priestess lives here, and she tends to draw people to her. If it gets any bigger, the priestess may have to move to spread the people out more, Sierra answers. When my sisters talk, they often make me feel like I'm talking to teenagers instead of young kids. She should kick all newcomers out, Cassidy rants. She wouldn't do that. She's too nice, Sierra says. The widows would leave the home they built? Not if we don't have to, Sierra answers. We mask our homes for fear of an unprotected attack by the Veil. If the location of Indaria were ever discovered, we would all have to leave. We could gather forces and take the Veil down, Cassidy retorts. That's not how the adults do things, and you know it. Our army is strong, but we're not a violent people. And what is the Veil? Our enemy, Cassidy answers. We're in peace with them, sis. They're not an enemy, Sierra argues. For now. Why do they call themselves the Veil? They're called the Veil because they don't want to know their destinies, Cassidy answers. That is not exactly accurate. Their political views don't believe in destinies the way we do. Sorry, I realize that the way it's written, it doesn't always tell you who's talking, and I'm trying to make a little bit of a tone change. Just keep in mind that, there was two different people talking right there. The cave to the stables we have been heading for is now in sight, and I realize that I've lost track of the conversation. Can you tell me something in secret? Nobody wants to tell me why I'm here, or why you all knew I was coming. Can you tell me? Both of the girls stop in their tracks. After an awkward pause, they both turn to face me. The girls appear uncomfortable. Please, I want to know why. They talk to each other in nothing but facial expressions. Finally, Cassidy answers me. Nobody tells you because nobody except the Vane priestess really knows. One night, the priestess gathered the city for a meeting. She called Papa into the bridge to stand next to her and told us a stranger was coming. She said not to panic and that you would be special. She said that you might be ugly. Sierra looks at her sister and shouts, Casta! Though, I think she was just referring to your ears. It's all right, girls. I know I'm a little different. Did the priestess say anything else? The priestess claims that you're the key to our future, Sierra answers. The key to your future? Do you know what she was talking about? No idea. Oh, and she told us that Papa would be the hunter to find you, Cassidy adds. And that's all you know? Yes, they answer in unison. I drop my head, feeling beaten once again by the lack of answers. Both sisters extend an arm out to each side of me, placing a hand on my lower back to comfort me. Sorry, brother, the Vane priestess makes predictions to keep us safe, and in return, we do whatever she asks of us without question, Sierra explains. Cassidy grows a grin on her tiny, cute face. All right, no more sad faces. Let's go teach you how to play with the Reavers. Reavers? We make our way into the cave, and over the course of the next 4 hours, they train me how to manage the furry creatures that Weiston brought me here on. Our jobs are to clean the stalls, give baths, and feed them. The elves breed them inside a cave to help hide the city, but the smell of their poop makes the cave stink to high heaven. The vision inside is poor, and we can't use fires for light due to the gases inside. The large opening at the top of the cave are all the light we have. Most of our duties only deal with the younger ones, as many of the older Reavers aren't safe for us kids to be around. When we finish, I stretch and then rub my aching shoulder. As we make our way outside, the girls both turn to each other and giggle. Are you tired yet? Sierra asks me. I wouldn't mind a little break. Castanea giggles. You look like you could pass out. We can get a quick bite to eat if you want, but we must be quick about it. If we finish early, like today, and we always do, we must go and help the adults with other chores. Yeah, at least until profession training begins. Then we should have it easy. And by we, I mean Sierra and me. Warrior training is supposed to be brutal on the body. We exit the cave and see 2 Trent Elf boys who are laughing at us. They're taller than I am, though I can assume they're close to my current age. They both wear the poncho-designed attire that most young boys wear. One boy has his brown hair back in a long braided ponytail. He has a huge black vein that starts at his forehead and travels between his eyes and slides down his left cheek, dividing his face in 2. The other has his short black hair parted at one side, but otherwise is undone. He's taller and more muscular than his friend is. Phew, the ponytail boy says. Hey, Round Ear, you know you stink, right? Figures they have you doing an easy job, the other boy rants. I shake my head in annoyance, feeling like I am in elementary school again. After talking with my sisters these last few months, I thought elves matured a little faster than humans did. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Sierra and Castor are simply good, smart children. That's Polly with the braided hair, Sierra whispers. And the other is Jun. They're always picking on us, the kids. Don't take it to heart, Casta says while covering her mouth with her hand. I glance at my sisters and can't help but think they're scared of these boys. How do you deal with 10-year-old bullies when you have the mind of a 17-year-old? It's not the same as dealing with high school bullies, is it? I'm smarter and more mature than these 2 boys. Then again, I was smarter and more mature than the ones I was dealing with back at home. Still, the idea of fighting them feels wrong. Although, what's wrong with playing with them a little bit? You know, boys, you're right. We do stink. We've been in a cave all day cleaning reaver stalls. But wait, didn't I spot you 2 in there with us? Weren't you both lying in the hay? I ask in an intentional childlike voice. I wait for them to shake their heads, and when I do, I give Castanea a devious grin before turning back to them. Are you sure? I thought you were in there with us. It was dark in there, but I thought it was you laying in the hay. They look at each other with confusion, and then look back at me, shaking their heads. Didn't I shovel you out with all the other large piles of poop? I ask while fighting back a smile. My sisters giggle in their childlike tones, and Paulo and Jun's face turn angry. Run, Sierra yells, and as both sisters grab my hands for a retreat. Though I am sprinting, my sisters are outrunning me with their stubby little legs. The speed of their tiny feet gliding through the grass trail grassy trail is impressive. I'll surely be lost in the forest if I lose sight of them. There are no cities where we are now. What? Hold on a second. There are no elves where we are now, and I cannot tell what direction the city is in. I'm going to shove your head into a pile of that poop, you rounded freak, Jun yells from close behind me. We're running up a hill when my sister's hands slip away from mine. I can feel fingers grasping at the back of my shirt. My sisters make it over the hill before me, and I'm sure whoever's fingers are there. They are about to pull me down. Then I hear one of them trip and cause the other to fall over him. I look back and watch them rolling over each other. I make it out of the hill, and once again find my sisters. They turn back to me, motioning that I need to get to them faster. We rejoin hands and keep on running. With the city's busy woodcutters sight now in view, I just read that really bad, but well, just bear with me. We're almost to the site when once again the fingers are at my back. Casta looks back and understands that I am almost in Jun's clutches. She takes her free hand and gathers the tips of her fingers together, and then swings her hand up to release a small fiery explosion into the sky. Her spine glows with blue dots as she does so. This is the first time I've ever watched Castanea use magic. Though it is weak in comparison to what I've seen the adults conjure, it is still jaw-dropping to watch. The small flare alerts the adult elves and causes Paulo and Jun to stop in their tracks, knowing they'd be caught. We're free from a childlike beating, and I'm pathetic. And I feel pathetic. Next time round here, Paulo says. See you tomorrow, Jun adds. While catching our breath, we walk through the clearing and watch the adults chop tree branches into blocks of firewood. The arms on these men and women are bulky and defined. Even some of the children around my age are moving the wood into large stacks, and their arms are much plumper than mine are. Plumper than most of the peers, actually. Most of my peers. I'm really starting to have a problem here. Anyway, I grab my aching shoulder and make the connection. The dining area is a little ways off from here, Sierra says. No, I think I'll stay here and help out. I'm surprised as the words come out of my mouth. You're not hungry? My stomach rumbles, but I shake my head anyway. I don't think they'll want you here, Castanea says. Are you sure? Positive. I began coming back here to stack the wood every day after taking care of the reavers. Paulo and Jun were reassigned chores on the opposite side of the city due to Sierra telling Wyston. My new life has just started, and I already feel lame. Again. Wyston protecting me from those boys wasn't something I was proud to watch happen. I'm going to have to turn on the light here in a minute. It's getting kind of dark in here. I keep coming back to move firewood as a way to put a stop to things like that. This is my training now. The destiny reading is coming, and I accept that my human body doesn't match to the superior bodies of the children around me. If I am to have any chance of becoming a warrior, I must prepare and get my body ready. In the past, I would have shuddered at the idea of physical labor. The thought of going to the gym, or PE, annoyed me. I could be frustrated, but instead I choose to picture it the same way as leveling an avatar on my online game. If you wanted to have a powerful character in one of those games, you had to put in the time to gain experience, right? It may not be as comfortable as sitting at the computer table and pressing buttons, but seeing it this way makes the pain worth it. At times, I've even been enjoying myself with the endless work. I realized quickly that I stack the wood at about half the speed of the other kids. So I have been staying at the site until the last man finishes his portion to make up for my inefficiencies. Some of the choppers have asked me why I stay so much longer than the other children, and I just shrug my shoulders as if I didn't have a reason. I may not be the fastest stacker, but after a few weeks, my dedication is now earning their respect. Tonight I may have overextended myself, however, because as I walk back to get my dinner, I feel myself ready to slip out of consciousness. It's my fault. I've been testing myself, trying to reach the other children's pace. My legs are weak, and I don't know whether or not I'll make it back to the table where my family is expecting to meet. I'm not even sure if I'll make it far enough for someone to see me fall. While I drag my feet toward my destination, I try to take note of the feelings I'm experiencing. Do I feel the same as the night I left Earth? No, this is different. I'm not overwhelmed, only weak and tired. My vision dulls as I fall and watch the ground come close to my face. I can only hope someone will find me soon. My eyes open, and I can already sense it is morning. I'm in my bed, and Akram faces me, excited to see that I'm awake. She's sitting at my bedside and looks exhausted. Could she have been waiting all night for me to regain consciousness? I scan around the room, and then to myself, and realize that I'm no longer wearing my shirt. My skin is clean. She must have bathed me. You're awake. Thank Lina. Why? Why do you work yourself like that? I have to get stronger. I want to be a strong warrior. You have to stop. Your body can't take that kind of stress. I can't stop. Everyone just accepts my body as weaker than everyone else's. I don't want to be treated any different from the other kids. I won't stop. She shakes her head in defeat, and it makes me feel bad, though I am adamant about this decision. She leans her head down with a depressed look, occasionally glancing at me. I can tell she's trying to guilt me into changing my mind. Finally, she takes a deep, accepting breath and pulls a small cloth bag from the foot of my bed. I thought you might say that. If you're going to work yourself to the bone, you need this. What is it? Jerobe Libus is the name of one of the Vane's greatest heroes that has ever lived. He died at the age of 26, almost 5 years ago, and his first season of crops is now ready for someone to eat. Because of his uncanny speed and the skill with these distinct weapon styles, several people have made offers. Sorry, I'm going to read that again. Because of his uncanny speed and the skill with 3 distinct weapon styles, there we go, several people have made offers to the hero's family for full rights to his plot. That title, the rights to his entire harvest, not only for this year, but for all years to come, have graciously been given to you. Thank you, but that sounds expensive. I can't accept it. Don't thank me. There's a man coming over later. He's the one you need to be thanking. He has come over every day since you fainted to check on you. Every day? How long was I asleep? 3 days. Well, I think I'm going to lay down now. You've had me so worried, she says, and kisses my forehead. You know tanners and skinners do well for themselves, right? The expression on my face tells me that the expression on my face tells her that I won't waver. Right. I just thought I'd try. About an hour has passed when I hear Wyston greeting a man at the door downstairs. I prepare to meet the one who bought the deed to those plants. The elevation of my head is making me dizzy. I must be a little more ill than I thought. This doesn't matter, because I am curious to know who out there in the city wanted to do such a big favor for the weakling of the society. As he's about to enter my room, I can recognize that the voice is that of the chubby man with the braided beard, who was my father in the drowning dream. Aside from the one day in the market, I have never talked to the man. Hello, boy. It's good that you're up. My name is Micolette Winters. Winters? That's a word? I mean, a season from my homeworld. I can imagine words from wherever you are from will pop up from time to time, although the meaning will be different, I suppose. He pauses briefly. Anyway, we met in the market a while back. Do you remember? You do remember, don't you? Yes, you were in my dream. I was your son the day he... I wanted to thank you for that day in the market. I'm sorry I didn't before. You kind of left me speechless. No, thank you for the deed to Jerob Leibus's plants. Really, that was unnecessary. I'm not sure I can accept it. I got that title for free, and it's yours. When I approached the Leibus family about the title, I didn't have nearly as much as the others were offering for it. When I told them that the title would be for you, they offered it for free. I don't want special treatment because I'm different. I don't, I tell him, and I look away. It was a member of the Leibus family who found you that night. They heard that you were preparing for warrior training. They want you to have it, not because you're different, because you tried so hard to prepare for your training that you fainted, and that impressed them. Oh, got a little over a half page left, guys. I've really been struggling tonight. Oh, I feel like such an ass right now. I misjudged them. Here I was, nearly disgusted because I thought that they were taking pity on me, and now to learn that I was wrong. How could I say no to that offer? I looked back to his face. There is hurt in his eyes. Can I ask you a question about my son? Yeah, I don't mind. He gets down on his knees to bring his head to my level. He scans the room as if he's searching for the right words to start off with. I can see in his eyes that the subject of his dead son is still a sore one. Then his eyes begin to water at the edges. They say you want to be a warrior. Is that right? I nod. My son wanted to be a warrior. He wanted to be the best warrior the city has ever seen. He admired people like Jerob as his hero. I didn't know that from the dream, but they only come in pieces. I know. But, you see, I thought being a warrior was too dangerous for him. His voice trembles. He was a little smaller than the other boys, and I thought he could only be an embarrassment to the family name if he tried to be a hero. I forced him to be a fisherman. You cannot blame yourself. That was his dying wish. I want you to live through him in the way that he would have liked to live. I want you to be the hero I never let him be. Can you do that for me? Sorry, I almost got emotional there. I haven't read this in a while. Can you do that for me? He asks as he loses his composure. I'll try, sir. Promise me, he begs as tears stream down his left cheek. All right, I promise. I'm not sure how I can keep going. Sorry, I'm going to read that again. I'm not sure how I am going to keep this promise. I continue to have my doubts about my human body, but I must admit that I feel inspired. I don't want to let him down, or the Leibus family down. I just read that last sentence wrong. I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let him or the Leibus family down. Well, I really read that chapter horribly. I think because I was trying to rush through before the light gets too dark. So I'm sorry about that. But, yeah, when it starts getting dark out, I have a hard time reading. But I really wanted to finish it for this week, make sure I had one for this week. So I'm going to probably end it here. I'm sorry again. I feel really bad. I almost want to re-record it, but I'm not going to. At least not this week. I might do something next week or something and just quietly put it out there or whatever. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm going to have to see how it actually looks when I watch the video back. But anyway, That's all for this video. Stay motivated, guys. Bye.